Huawei P30 Pro, finally, eventually able to buy it in mainland China. Launch day today in mainland China after the entire rest of the world, it feels like. But this is the P30 Pro. It's the 8GB version, 128 gigs of storage on this one. Let's get it open. Very exciting phone, this one, with the new quad camera. Initial thoughts actually are, it's a lot smaller than I remember. I remember when I saw the one in the shop initially, it felt big anyway. Maybe because I had the P30 before the P30 Pro. But, oh, wow. This is a really nice feeling phone. Just have a look at that quad camera setup on the back. Initially, you can see that square camera. That's the new periscope camera. That's the new zoom camera. You've got the ultra wide in there, and you've got the main camera as well, 40 megapixel main camera. And it just feels good. Have a look on the back there. You've got the fourth camera here, which is a time of flight sensor. It doesn't really do anything, that one, but you have the curved screen as well, and man, that just feels really, really nice in the hand. When I first got this one, I thought it was quite heavy, but actually if I just compare it to the Xiaomi 9, maybe have a look at these two here, they are actually about exactly the same size, and maybe the P30 is just a little bit heavier than the Xiaomi Mi 9, but it feels like there's maybe heavier glass on the back, and you've got that curved screen, which is going to be a bit heavier as well. Anyway, let's get it turned on. Just setting up the fingerprint scanner here, so it's the same as every other phone, but obviously the fingerprint scanner is under the screen. So I'm just going to start with my finger, see how long it takes to do this one. Employment successful. Okay, here we are inside the device. All right, so let's just turn the screen brightness right up and see what we're getting here. It's a curved screen. Not everyone likes a curved screen, but I think that these are getting better and better, more mainstream. The design on them is looking better. Have a look at the bezels there. Let's go into a settings screen so you can just see those bezels. They are really, really small. You see this bottom bezel is definitely thicker than the top bezel, but I really, really like the design. It's actually a square design on the bottom, as you can see it here. It's really unique. I've not seen this in too many other phones, but I really, really like it. It's absolutely flat and square on the bottom and also on the top as well. It looks really nice. Now the back is curved just like the front, so the front curves round into the back. And just like the Mate 20 Pro, you've got that colorful power button there as well. I think it's a nice touch. But all in all, a really solid feeling phone, definitely a big phone. So let's try out that fingerprint scanner and just see how quick it is if I press down here. Okay, we're in, that's pretty quick. 3, 2, 1. Let's just try that against the Xiaomi 9 and see which one is quicker. Let's just have a little very quick face off between the fingerprint scanners. If I get them in the right place. 3, 2, 1, go. I reckon the Xiaomi was actually a little bit quicker than the Huawei there. Now, I don't know what the security is like on both of these, but fingerprint scanners are pretty secure on the Xiaomi as well. So 3, 2, 1, go. I would say maybe the Xiaomi is just a little bit quicker on that one. Now, obviously the Xiaomi is rocking the Snapdragon 855, and this Huawei has the Kirin 980. Kirin 980 isn't a brand new chip like the 855. It's been around for a little while now. It's been around in the Mate 20, the Mate 20 Pro, the Mate 20 series all has it. So I wouldn't expect a huge upgrade from the fingerprint sensor over those phones just because they're using the same sensor. But let's just see it on its own. So it's this one, 3, 2, 1, go. It's pretty quick. I don't think it's going to slow you down. Now, obviously, you've got Face ID on here as well. Their version of Face ID, not going to be as secure as Apple's, of course, but it's going to be very quick at unlocking your phone. If you do want that, you have Raise to Wait. All right, let's just see what the camera is like. Wow, I would say, actually, it looks all right. Now, obviously, with selfie modes, Huawei do put a lot of beauty on there, as well as all the other Chinese manufacturers. It looks like it's beautifying my face a little bit. Let's just do a video and see what it's like. So if I just turn it around this way, maybe you can see this is the selfie camera video. I think my skin tones look a little brightened, but that is just something that always happens with Chinese phones. But it looks okay. Maybe I'll shake it about. Looks all right. The front camera doesn't have any optical image stabilization on there. And obviously I have no idea what the audio is like on there, but when we play it back after I edit the video, you guys will just see how good it is. All right, let's go through the camera modes here. So you have aperture mode, night mode on there, portrait mode where you get blurry backgrounds, you've got photo mode and video mode, pro mode as well, where you can actually control the settings. You can control the shutter speed, the ISO, you can control the white balance as well. If you just go through some settings here, obviously you can get rid of the watermark. No one wants to use that on their photos. Change the resolution of the camera. Now it's a 40 megapixel camera, this one, but by default it takes 10 megapixel images. 40 megapixel mode may be a little bit sharper, but you may lose some other aspects of it. So 10 megapixel mode is the normal mode that it shoots in. You can obviously change that if you want. Something interesting here is that they've actually got a RAW format as well. If you want to edit your photos after you take them, you can take them using the RAW format. That means there will be way more data that you can use in your editing software, although I don't think many people are going to be using that, but it's nice to know that it's there. And obviously there's some timers and some audio controls as well. Let's have a look at that back camera. We just take a video with the back camera and just see how it goes. This is just a quick test of the audio and the video coming out of the back camera on this phone. I can't see any microphones on the back there, so the Huawei may be using a front or a top microphone to record my voice. It does change the way the voice sounds quite a lot. If the microphone's on the back, obviously speaking now, it will pick me up really clearly. If the microphone's on the front, it might sound a bit echoey. You can change the zoom of the camera when you're taking it, but we'll leave that to the camera test video. Now obviously a really great feature of this phone, probably the feature that everyone's going to be talking about, is that camera right there. That really cool, awesome looking camera on the front that gives you 5 times optical zoom, 10 times hybrid zoom, and 50 times with digital and optical. Actually, the main camera is pretty wide. I would say the color reproduction is pretty accurate actually. I quite like it, and I like the way that it's picked up the shadow there. So that's the main camera. Why don't we take one using the ultra wide camera? So you just literally slide it down, same position. You can see the difference is actually crazy between the normal camera, which is a wide angle, and then the ultra wide angle. You get a ton more straight in the same shot. I took it from the same distance away, but it gets so much more in the shot. Let's take one on the zoom camera. 5 times optical zoom, that one. And then you can just press it to 10 times optical zoom as well, which it won't even focus. It's just way too close. 10 times zoom. So there you have it. That is the ultra wide camera going through to the main camera, which was about the same distance. The 5 times zoom, which I had to move away to get focus, and the 10 times zoom, which you saw was like back here and it's zooming in. So obviously if you want to see more of those, wait for the camera test. There's going to be a big camera test where you can see just how this camera performs. Not the loudest I've heard, for sure. Not the loudest speaker on a smartphone. There's only one grid at the bottom. You can see it there. It just comes out of that left side, or it's the right side. The right side bottom of the phone, the other side has the SIM card slot. If you look at the top of the phone, can you see an earpiece there? Because I can't. So I'm just wondering where the earpiece is or where the sound comes out of. Now, I haven't heard anything from Huawei telling us about maybe the screen vibrates to give you the same effect as the loudspeaker on the front. I've not heard anything. I didn't assume that it was going to come out of the screen. I assumed it would just have a loudspeaker on there. But yeah, something to note. I just can't see one on here. So you can see that there's no loudspeaker. I'm assuming it comes out of the screen vibrates. But that speaker on the bottom, not the loudest, not the most punchy I've heard on a smartphone. Easy, it's convenient. It is, for me, in my opinion. Right, so that's watching a video. Now, obviously, what they've done on Bilibili anyway is, as you can see there, the top of the phone just has a white bar on there. If you're looking on YouTube, I will assume that is full screen. Watching video is actually really good on that curved screen. It just curves round the top and the bottom edges, as you can see. Very, very nice experience. Now, what you can actually see when I put the screen up, when you're looking, you can see some banding here. And I know a lot of people are saying Huawei have got a dud screen or it's a bad screen. You cannot see that in person. That is called banding. I'm not a massive expert on that, but just trust me, that is not something you see when you look at the phone. That is a very, very common thing that happens with electrical equipment and screens when they're being recorded, the frames per second. What I will say on the screen, it is very bright and it is very sharp. Really, really like it. But you don't get that banding when you're looking at it in real life. Quite a cool feature actually I've found here just with the Huawei. If you swipe left here, all phones have this nowadays. You have like a sort of Apple Wallet type deal here. And there's lots of featured and you can obviously add apps there. But there's this Smart Care app, which is built directly into the phone, which is actually really, really useful and a really cool, convenient thing. So it just tells you what you've used, screen on time, and obviously I've been using the camera for the review here. But that's something that is really quite useful to see and to have on the phone as standard. You don't have to install other apps or do anything like that. You've basically got your Apple Wallet and a few really useful things right there. All right, so there we have it, the very, very quick unboxing of the Huawei P30 Pro. If you want to see more, I'm going to be testing this against other phones, against the Xiaomi, camera tests and everything else. But initial reaction is very, very good. It feels really great. It just is right up there with every other design. You've got glass everywhere, metal on the sides. Now this is 5,300, this model in China. That's going to change a lot. I know the price of Huawei's change a lot once they get out of China, but this is 5,300 odd RMB, 6GB version, and it goes up from there.